Kendrick Johnson coming from you to New York MSG with Matchroom CEO, the man, Eddie Hearn. Eddie, just get some insight to just the state of boxing now. This is on the heels of this great spin sport fight. How do y'all build off that momentum? I know it's a different promotion and everything, but it's still boxing.
I think that every time there's a great fight, it's great for the sport. Spence Porter was a great fight. I thought the BBC and Fox did a great job building that fight before the fight. But if the fight doesn't live up to the hype, then it's not good for the sport. That fight did live up to the hype, so it's great for the sport of boxing. And we hope that this weekend, more people are interested in boxing. More people are tuning in to watch Gennady Golovkin try and become a two-time world middleweight champion. So yeah, every time there's a big event, it's great. You know, we're outside MSG. We remember June 1st with Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz, and although that didn't go the way we wanted it to go, it was still a great event for boxing. So that's what we want. You know, we want drama, and that's why this one's called the Big Drama Show.
This is going to bring back bad memories on a personal level. Tell me this straight up.
Yeah.
What does that rank at as on one of your low ends of your career that night when Joshua lost?
The thing is like anything in life, once you experience a lot of things, your nerve ends become sort of just fizzled out, you know, they become like burnt soldering pieces. So if you'd have asked me that question, if this would have happened 5 years ago, I might not still be able to get up off the floor, you know. But in boxing, there's so many ups and downs, and you have to expect these things, especially in the heavyweight division. So it was tough to take because Josh is a good friend of mine, you know, and obviously I've been promoting him since his professional debut, and I never want to see him lose, you know, I always want to see him win, and I'm emotionally attached to him, you know, not just as a client but as a friend. So it was tough to take, but we knew. I always worry about his fights because he's so raw still as a heavyweight. You know, he's had 23 fights, but he's fighting at the very, very top level time and time again. And unfortunately, shit can happen with the big boys, you know. And now he's got to try and put it right on December the 7th.
What do you say to those people that kind of laugh at this Triple G fight, like he's fighting to nobody? Who's derevyanchenko?
He's fighting a very good fighter in derevyanchenko. More importantly, he's fighting a guy who the IBF have ordered him to fight for the vacant world title. You know, we all know Gennady Golovkin was one of the longest reigning middleweight champions of all time. He fought Canelo. We believe he won both those fights, but he got a draw and a defeat. He lost his world titles. So what do you want to do? You want to reclaim your world middleweight titles, and that's what he's trying to do here. The IBF have ordered this fight. We saw derevyanchenko in a close fight with Danny Jacobs. The styles are going to gel really well, and I think it's going to be a great fight on DAZN.
How big a deal is to get that third fight with Canelo, regardless if it's in the next few months or within the next year?
You know what, I think for the fighters it becomes almost painful to talk about. You know, I don't think Gennady Golovkin wants to talk about Canelo this week because he's focusing on derevyanchenko, and also he's tired of talking about Canelo. It's kind of like AJ, you know, was probably tired about talking about Deontay Wilder, and in the end it sort of over-occupies your mind and you forget about what's important, which is the fights that are signed and the fights that are happening, like derevyanchenko. So I think Gennady this week will make a conceited effort to put the Canelo chat to the side and say, no, I've got to beat derevyanchenko, I'll win the world middleweight title, and then we're moving.
What do you say to those people that say that Triple G got too many miles on his body to be able to go through another third fight with Canelo?
How can you say that when, you know, most people had him winning the second fight, virtually everyone had him winning the first fight. So how's he got miles on the clock? You know, if he would have lost those fights convincingly or shown signs of deterioration, then that's when you can say you got miles on the clock. Yeah, he is older than most reigning world champions, but until you start seeing performances that show deterioration, you can't even suggest that. So, yeah, you know, I say the same thing to people. Everyone's got opinions, you know, but at the end of the day, back them up with facts. Right now, you know, you've got a guy in Golovkin, like I said, who we believe won those both two fights. Second fight was close. So yeah, until he shows signs that he's deteriorating, he ain't deteriorating. But this fight will tell us a lot, because derevyanchenko is fresh in the pro game, you know, and he'll be doing everything he can to try and win the world title.
Does Triple G have to win convincingly, or is it just about getting the belt back, regardless if it's convincing?
It's always about just winning, but in the modern day, you know, when we talk about the Canelo fight, he won't want to talk about the Canelo fight. But my job as a promoter is to look at those future fights, and of course, we want the Canelo fight. But if you don't look good, then it's easy for Canelo or Golden Boy to say, oh, you know, we're beating him, he's past it, etc., etc. So you you've got to look good, and the most important people are the fans. Once the fans start saying, no, we don't want any other fight. You know, Kovalev is a good fight for Canelo. But after that, you want Triple G to look really good on Saturday, and you want the people to say, no, this is the fight you must make. And ultimately, the fans will be the ones that push fights to happen.
How much is Canelo's arrogance enter into the equation? Because a lot of people saying,
I'm not sure his arrogance. He's earned the right to call the shots, right? Canelo is among, you know, I put him with Joshua as the biggest star in the sport. Even though AJ lost that fight, still the biggest star in the sport. So he has earned the right to call those shots. You know, as a promoter of Gennady Golovkin, Billy Joe Saunders, Demetrius Andrade, Callum Smith, I can harp on and, you know, scream and shout for those fights all day long. The truth is, there's only one person that's going to decide, and that's Canelo Alvarez. So until Canelo Alvarez says, he's the guy I want, those four aren't going to get that fight. But those four have got to put in the performances to put the pressure on from the fans to say, to make Canelo, because Canelo wants to deliver. I believe that. He wants to deliver for DAZN, he wants to deliver for the fans. So if the fans are saying, we want this, and if DAZN are saying, we want this, it's much more likely for it to happen. But the way you get the fans to call for fights is to put in great dominating performances.
do you think he's doing a good job as the face of boxing, taking over from Mayweather?
Yeah. It's a very different audience to Mayweather's audience. It's obviously a very strong Hispanic audience. Canelo's a brilliant fighter. He's a great athlete. You know, he's great for boxing.
Going back to Joshua Ruiz too, do you think people are over-exaggerating the fact that it's taken in Saudi Arabia and all that craziness, or like you got people talking crazy about you? They like,
it's a ring. We do it in there. You know, we can do it in there. But at the end of the day, anyone that wants to criticise the venue, is, I'll tell you this, and you would understand this. No one, as dangerous as this sport is, no one has the right to tell a fighter where they can and can't fight for an incredible amount of money, right? So who are you, or who am I to tell a fighter, no, you can't go there? Because there's a few people who don't like Saudi Arabia, so I'm sorry. This is a prize fight, right? This is a dangerous sport where the fighters must always get what they deserve. And there is a situation where they have an opportunity to follow other sports and other organisations, the WWE, the PGA Tour, Formula One. This is a fight. This ain't a game of golf. This is a fight. So obviously they're going to fight where the most money is being generated.
Do you think that this is a defining fight for Joshua? We're going to find out one way or another if he was that guy or if he was a fraud?
Yeah, I mean, look, maybe it was a freak result for Ruiz. Maybe Ruiz has got Joshua's number. You know, who knows? But the truth is that is the biggest fight of the year, and there are so many questions to be answered in that fight. And I can't wait. I'm nervous, I'm excited, but it's what we live for, right? I mean, imagine how excited you'll be when the first bell of Joshua Ruiz starts. You know, I mean, we'll all be petrified. You know, and that's what you want as a fan. You want the hairs on your arms to be stood up. You know, you want to be excited, and there's nothing like it.
Assuming he wins, will he come back over to America?
I think so, yeah. I mean, look, he won a fight in the UK as well, but look, he wanted to come and have a successful US debut. That happened in terms of the event, it didn't happen in terms of the result. So he'll definitely want to come and put things right at Madison Square Garden if he can beat Andy Ruiz, and I believe he will.
What about you and finding the belts? So when he get the belts back on December 7th, will there be unification in 2020? Because Deontay Wilder, I just talked to him this weekend, he said that's his mission in 2020 is to unify.
This is his new mission, right? Like, when Joshua had the belt, where was the mission? The mission didn't exist. Like, when Joshua had the belt and we kept saying we want to fight Deontay Wilder, never did Deontay Wilder say, I want to be undisputed champion, did he? He was like, now he's saying, oh, I want one face, one name, I want to be undisputed. So you can't, you know, you can't talk it if you don't mean it. So forget Deontay Wilder, not even in the thoughts. One fight, Andy Ruiz. And, you know, now Joshua has experienced belts, no belts, and maybe they don't become important anymore. You know, I said a throwaway line in the press in the UK, maybe he retires after this fight if he wins. You know, because he's had to deal with a lot since his loss. You know, maybe those supporters just shrink a little bit. You know, that's what happens in boxing. When you're winning, everyone's coming up, patting you on the shoulder, you're the greatest. When you lose, suddenly it becomes a little bit more of a lonely sport. So he's found out a lot about himself and life through this defeat. But it's how you come back, and that's the true test of a man and a character.
So in your honest opinion, belts, no belts, do you think that the sport needs Wilder, Joshua.
The sport needs great fights. Wilder Joshua, you know, if Joshua was to lose, he's had 24 fights, he's lost to one man, and he's unified the heavyweight division twice. So he still has a future, but it's all down to the individual, isn't it? But he's got to win, you know, he knows he's got to win the fight. He wants to win the fight so badly, and he'll be doing everything he can to make that happen.
And final question. Everybody still is questioning the zone and Matchroom coming over here. He gives some insight like, y'all here to stay in America?
When you say everyone's questioning the zone, the people who don't want the zone to succeed or Matchroom to succeed are questioning us. So, like, just look at the schedule. You know, that's really the proof is in the pudding. You know, you've got Errol Spence against Sean Porter the weekend. Good fight, $80, right? You've got Deontay Wilder against Luis Ortiz. Decent fight, $80. Right? You're having to pay pay-per-view every month, every 2 months. With the zone for $99 a year, you are getting gennady Golovkin, you are getting Usyk coming up, you're getting Canelo against Kovalev, you're getting Joshua against Ruiz, you know, you're getting Progress against Taylor Unification, you just had Hooker Ramirez, you've got Devin Haney. Like, the value is endless. Endless. But we've got to hang in there, we've got to stay in there, we've got to keep fighting, and we've got to do what we do what we love to do, which is put on great nights. So tune in, don't miss it. If you haven't subscribed to DAZN, what are you waiting for, baby?